want to talk today about great expectations. Great expectations. This year, you ought to approach it with great expectations. You got to be expecting God to do something great for you this year. Oh, we're just 8 or 9 days into the new year, but this would be a good time because I think, like the children of Israel, people many times when they are displaced, when they are disoriented, when they are disconnected, find themselves hopeless and find themselves wondering what God is up to. And the text says, an exciting verse for me, verse 11, for I know your thoughts, the thoughts that I think towards you, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected is always thinking about you. I have thoughts that I think toward you, that I think of you, that I think about you. The idea that God has me on his mind. Even when I don't feel it, even when I don't sense it, the fact that God has a thought of me, a thought for me. Wow. That ought to get you excited. That regardless of what you're going through, and even when you don't think that God, anybody besides me ever just wonder where God was, or is God in this, or why is God permitting this to happen? Jeremiah says to those people who are far from, it's really not that far, but who are far from their familiar, precious grounds, I have thoughts towards you. Thoughts of peace and not evil. Wow. Thoughts of peace. Did y'all hear me? Thoughts of peace. That's exciting to me. That God, he's not talking about prosperity. He said, I want to give you peace. Anybody here today can testify that sometimes peace is more precious than prosperity or wealth? Anybody here that can testify that God says, I want to give you peace? Wow. I mean, in the midst of your stuff, when all the world around you is chaotic, God says, I've been thinking about you, and my thoughts are to give you peace. Turn to your neighbor and tell them, I'm gonna run it out. I'm gonna run it all the way. I'm gonna run it all the way. Come too far from where I started. Nobody told me that the road would be easy, but I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. I just pray that God has spoken to you this morning. And may his Holy Spirit remind you Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. First time you catch hell, God. First time you get a stumbling block. First time the enemy challenges you. The first time systems fail you. The first time friends forsake you. I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. Everybody. I don't feel always. Sing it like you mean it.